Alright, it's Ring of the Hawk Season 5, and today it will be someone who's near and dear to the Hawk's heart, if I had one. Ring of the Hawk is the show where we watch back a wrestler's short run with the company, and at the end we shove them a final grade to see if they could do the JOB to the HAWK. And of course, if you know a wrestler who could do the JOB to the HAWK, shove their name down in the comments, Jack! Alright, it's Aliyah. I wish she was right here. Aliyah is someone I've only had the pleasure of seeing a few times, but I can tell you that she attended circus training school before wrestling, so I'm expecting some high wire jumps and crazy flips. She came up through NXT Developmental, where she was mainly a jobber, but the first match on the main roster came a few years before her proper run. Match 1, SmackDown, Carmella vs Aliyah. Neither girl gets an entrance. Aliyah instantly locks on a smiling headlock. Carmella slips out of the snap mirror and she is really proud of that. Aliyah responds by single-legging her and gets a 1 on a jackknife cover. Carmella takes her down by her haircut. She slowly works her over and does a moonwalk. She hits a sort of Bronco Buster for a 2 count. Aliyah eventually does a jawbreaker and wow, a bridging Northern Light suplex for a 2. That's better than I thought it would be from her. She starts hitting body attacks in the corner, but unfortunately she can't hit her second rope dive because the man with no chin distracts her. Carmella superkicks her and locks on the code of silence for the tap out win. You can see Aliyah wasn't ready at this point. Bland with a capital B and it made me want to pee. It's a D. Match 2, SmackDown, almost 5 years later. Well, I hope she's learned a bit more. You'd sure hope so in 5 years. It's a 6 women's tag. Shotzi, Natalya and Shayna versus, wow, what a transformation for Aliyah. She basically looks like a different woman. She teams up with Sasha Banks and Naomi. A big brawl starts before the match and Aliyah looks a mixture of confused and happy. I'm not sure how much we're going to see from our girl in this one. She's actually tagged in quickly with Shayna and Banks throws her into a head scissors. A weak looking dropkick follows. Shotzi gets one too. Somehow that gets Aliyah a 2 count. Shotzi stops her and bounces her off the ropes and throws her down by a haircut, and she gets a 2 off a senton. The tag is made to Natalya. Well actually they all keep tagging each other and stomping on the newbie. Aliyah almost catches Natalya with a lucky roll up before getting smashed back down. Shayna comes back in with a punch to the gut. Baszler almost locks on the Kikita clutch which Aliyah nicely rolls out of and makes the tag. After a very long time, Naomi tags Aliyah who looks confused. She dives on Natalya with a crossbody for a 2 count. She desperately does some Lou Thesz presses. She comes close again with a neckbreaker. She does manage to reverse the sharpshooter into another pin, but Natalya kicks out and hits a Michinoku driver. I thought it was over, but no. Aliyah dodges a Natalya clothesline and hits the Northern Light suplex. That causes the match to break down. Natalya gets the sharpshooter on and she wants to cheat, but Naomi stops her from doing that and wow, Aliyah rolls up Natalya for the 3. Massive celebrations and a feel-good moment. The moves were not incredible, but she really nailed the Underdog rookie thing and the crowd seemed to come alive for everything that she did. Really nice, it's a B from the Hawk. She thinks she's off to Survivor Series now, but the manager takes that away from her straight after the match. What a dick. Match 3, SmackDown tag. Aliyah teams up with Naomi to take on Shayna Baszler and Natalya. To be honest, other than hitting a falling head scissors out the corner, it doesn't really go well. They're beaten in just 1 minute from a referee fast count. It's an S. Then she disappears from SmackDown for 8 episodes. Match 4, SmackDown. Aliyah vs Natalya. Don't get too comfortable with this one. Natty destroys her in the corner before the bell is even rung. She's just vicious because she wants to beat the world record for the fastest ever victory. And this is possible because the referee refuses to ring the bell to start the match. After a long time, Aliyah drags herself back to her feet and she looks like she's going to puke, but she rolls Natalya straight up and she beats her in 3.17 seconds, which is a world record. Not much to say, but she seems to get good reactions from the crowd, and I guess none of this is bad for a plucky babyface. It's a D. Match 5, SmackDown. No one gets an entrance. It's Natalya vs Aliyah again. Before the match starts, it's announced that WWE legend Summer Rae is watching the match. Our girl almost rolls up Natalya straight away, but Natty isn't having any of that and snap suplexes her. Once again, Aliyah responds by almost rolling her up. This is becoming like her finisher or something. Aliyah hits the nice fall off the top into the head scissors, but Natty beheads her straight after. Aliyah manages to escape a submission with yet another pinning attempt. That seems to really enrage Natalya, who keeps stomping on her. She won't stop stomping and the ref rings the bell. I just love how Aliyah smiles when she hears that she's just won the match by DQ. Natalya flips, but she has to stop because someone from Mortal Kombat makes the save. I thought I was out of it for a minute here. It's a C because I like the head scissors and her smile. Match 6, Royal Rumble 2022. The smiling Aliyah enters this one at number 4. Only Sasha Banks is in the ring. No pinfalls here, so I'm not sure what she can really do. Well, she manages a Lou Thesz press before she gets slapped. Aliyah responds with a boot to the head. She keeps almost being eliminated by Sasha and she takes a big knee hit. Liv Morgan is in next, who drop kicks Aliyah. She starts stomping on Banks and Aliyah together. Somehow, Aliyah is just surviving in there despite taking the three amigos from Sasha Banks. Tamina starts trying to eliminate Aliyah, who's all smiles as usual. She holds on. I like how Aliyah does stomps to Liv as the crowd count down from 10. It's incredible. Why does Michelle McCool look like a giant in there? Aliyah spends 20 minutes in there, almost being eliminated time and time again. I'm not sure how she lasts so long. Maybe she melted her opponents with her smile. She attacks Natalya, who completely ignores her and eliminates some girls. Nothing really happens until Ripley enters and she drops Aliyah on her lovely smile. Charlotte Flair enters and she boots Aliyah in the face. She gives her a wedgie and eventually Aliyah is eliminated. Well, that was 20 minutes of my life I'll never get back. It's an S. Match 7, SmackDown, Aliyah versus Natalya yet again. Aliyah tries to roll up straight away. It doesn't work, but she screams with happiness. I was starting to think this match was going to be identical to the others with the head scissors out the corner and the Fez press, but no, we get a new move with the wheelbarrow bulldog for a 2. Natalya decides to beat Aliyah up on the outside. She slips away from the attack and sends Natalya into the crowd barrier, and Aliyah wins the match by countout. Ultimately, it was pretty similar to the previous matches. It's a D. Match 8, SmackDown Dungeon Match. Yay, it's Aliyah versus Natalya again. The difference here is that this one can only end by pinfall or submission. It might feel a bit samey, but they are moving really well in this one. Aliyah's movement is temporarily stopped with a kick to the face and a Michinoku driver, but Aliyah comes back with a pin and then she hits the wheelbarrow bulldog. She tries to steal Natalya's finisher, which she reverses with no problem whatsoever. Natalya puts her sharpshooter on and Aliyah has no chance to tap because there's no rope breaks. Once again, Natty beats her up after the bell and the Mortal Kombat girl comes to the save. I'm giving it a D, but if I don't see something new soon, I'm going to start shoving her in the zone. Match 9, SmackDown Beat the Clock Challenge, Charlotte Flair versus Aliyah. The time to beat is 1 minute 41. Damn, sometimes words aren't enough. I'm all beak-tied. Charlotte quickly drops her on her face, but Aliyah comes back with an enziguri. Charlotte isn't hurt and she smashes her back down. Aliyah comes back with a wheelbarrow bulldog. She attempts a top rope crossbody which misses, and when she gets up, Charlotte hits a big boot. Aliyah manages to reverse the submission and kicks her out of the ring. Charlotte charges back in and is determined to get the figure 8 locked on. Aliyah refuses to tap and the time expires. Yay, I guess. I enjoyed seeing her for 1 minute and 41 seconds, but come on, I'm a hawk of my word, it's an S. Match 10, SmackDown 6-Pack Challenge, Raquel Rodriguez versus Shotzi versus Aliyah. She's been locked in the women's locker room apparently. Versus Shayna Baszler versus Xia Li, the Mortal Kombat Queen, and also versus Natalya. Aliyah suddenly teleports into the ring and she attacks Shotzi for locking her in the room. Aliyah hits her with a Fez press off the apron. She doesn't seem to be that involved in this match, but she does return and hits a bulldog on her great saviour. Baszler picks Aliyah up and slams her with a botched gut wrench. She can't manage a return from that move and Natalya ends up winning the match. It's another S. Match 11, Shotzi versus Aliyah. The only thing that's improving is her looks. Aliyah is a little bag of energy. Most of this match is Shotzi locking her in a Boston Crab and Aliyah refusing to tap. Aliyah does make a nice pin in this one. Apart from that, she hits a Thez press off the apron before Shotzi shoves her into the ring pole. Shotzi brings her back to the ring and beats her with Never Wake Up. Well, this clearly isn't going well. It was okay at the start where she was playing the plucky underdog, but now she's just a competitor who is viewed as cannon fodder for the roster. Another S. Match 12, Gauntlet match, Sonya Deville and Aliyah to start this one. Aliyah gets hit with an early knee before getting a 2 count on a quick go behind. Deville sends her running and hits a slightly botchy looking spinebuster for a 2. Sonya puts her in the submission until Aliyah gets her off with a stunner. Then she hits whatever the hell this is. Aliyah gets a 2 off a springboard crossbody. Man, she desperately needs a winner. Well, she won't be winning this one because Sonya hits a final cut for the 3. I'm sorry, it's just not going well. Pretty face can only take you so far. It's another S. Match 13, Knockouts Tag Title Tournament match. Raquel Rodriguez teams with Aliyah for this one to take on Xia Li and Shotzi. Aliyah doesn't start, but she joins in a big way as her partner throws her at Xia Li. Aliyah follows her out of the ring and hits a crossbody from the apron. All 4 girls frantically brawl on the outside. Not sure which way this one's going. We come back from an advert break to see Aliyah desperately trying to make a tag. The heels hit her with, I guess it's like a Dominator neck breaker combination, and I'm surprised Aliyah can kick out. Shotzi throws her face into the mat and Xia Li kicks her for a 2. This match is just Aliyah trying to make the tag and it all looks a bit of a shove-it zone worthy entry. Eventually, Aliyah slips out of the suplex and hits a net breaker and the tag is made. Rodriguez is alone here getting double teamed, but Aliyah returns just in time with a spear and Raquel Rodriguez wins with a powerbomb to Xia Li. A D, I guess? I don't know. They could be okay as a team. Match 14, Raw, singles match, Aliyah versus Bayley. Bayley throws her face into the match straight away and gives her a sarcastic round of applause. Aliyah starts doing her pinning attempts. She shows she is learning though as she dodges a clothesline with a matrix move and hits a sit-out hip toss. She drop kicks Bayley and nails a crossbody in the corner. She also connects the head scissors out of the corner and does a kip up. I see a lot of people saying that Aliyah wasn't athletic. I think she is. The problem is that the athleticism in the WWE has just come such a long way and they're just better athletes than her. It's all Bayley now anyway, and she gets a 2 off a back suplex. Aliyah misses a crossbody in the corner and Bayley rains down on her with punches. A sliding clothesline gets Bayley another 2. She tries a third crossbody, which again doesn't work, and she's caught and stacked on the rope so Bayley can hit her with double knees. After a while, Aliyah throws Bayley out of the ring and she slides out after her and hits a bulldog on the ring mats. She gets her back in the ring with a Fez press and some terrible looking punches. The crowd are in silence, they hate this. Aliyah's looking so tired and leggy in there. She does a random drop down into a single leg crab, but Bayley just wrenches her haircut to get her off. Bayley randomly does a monkey flip now, and then she finishes Aliyah off with the Rose Plan. This was the first longer than usual singles match, and it just wasn't great. Aliyah looked really tired in there. She was trying some new stuff, so I guess it balances out to a D. Match 15, SmackDown Tag Tournament match. Aliyah and Raquel Rodriguez take on Natalya and Sonya Deville. Aliyah and Natalya get to renew their rivalry. These two do have some quite good chemistry. Aliyah does the Matrix into a roll-up. She then escapes a slam and tags her partner. She just stands there looking confused. The match level turns up now as Aliyah dives off the apron onto Sonya, but she turns around into a Michinoku driver on the outside. That move keeps her out of the match for a while, and Raquel is left to fight on her own. She's literally gone for 5 minutes, and Raquel wins this match with a powerbomb. This was pretty bad. She might as well have not even been in there as her partner did everything. Even the commentary team say, "Oh look, there's Aliyah." It's an S. I think they want us to call this team the Boozy Badasses. I'm just not going to do that, I'm sorry. Match 16, Tag Title Tournament Finals match. Dakota Kai and Io Sky versus B-Double. I think Aliyah gets confused when Raquel is trying to flex her lats, but she looks confused for a lot of this run, so who knows, it might just be her face. Aliyah to start with Sky. They do a pinfall reversal trade-off, but it looks slow and the crowd don't react. Raquel is tagged in and they do the splits into a big boot. She returns to the match with Raquel throwing her at Dakota Kai. I just love how happy she looks all the time. Aliyah does her Matrix move into a set hip toss. I like how she stays in the splits position to taunt her opponent. It shows she's getting a bit more confident in there. Aliyah tries to baseball slide her opponent to completely teleport out the camera shot. She pays for a very far miss by getting thrown into the steps and Sky stomps her against them. It turns out that this match basically mirrors the last one with Aliyah dead on the outside and Raquel having to fight alone. It's almost 3-on-1 at times with Bayley on the outside. Other girls run out looking like the 3 little stooges. Raquel finally tags Aliyah, who starts hiding on the outside. Damage Control think they have Rodriguez beat when Aliyah rushes the ring and rolls up Dakota for the 3. We've got a rare Ring of the Hawk title winner. I didn't think Aliyah would be winning anything in the WWE. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was nice to see the dumb girl actually outsmart people. It's a C. Match 17, Raw, non-title tag match. Aliyah and Rodriguez. It's good to see that Aliyah has now figured out that Rodriguez is trying to flex her back muscles and not something else. I think that's quite a rarity nowadays. They take on Nikki ASH and Doudrop. Why does everyone on this roster have generic unfitting rap music? Man, I miss Jim Johnson. Aliyah starts with a float over into a Total World backbreaker. Nikki ain't hurt and she tags Doudrop. Aliyah dodges her too and hits a basement dropkick to not much effect. Doudrop catches her Hurricanrana attempt and weakly swings her into the corner a couple of times. Man, it looks so bad. Doudrop cannonballs her in the corner, which does look better, and that gets her a 2. This match is different from the last 2 because it's Raquel who's being kept out of the match. The heels crush Aliyah with a Samoan drop neckbreaker combination. Somehow the match continues and Aliyah finally does make the tag. The match ends when Aliyah flies off the top to the outside on Nikki and Raquel powerbombs Doudrop. Decent change of pace and it was nice to see a new move, but she struggles to string all her moves together and create an identity for herself. There's no rhyme or reason to anything she does, she just does moves and then a couple of matches later, she seems to have forgotten them again. It's a D. Match 18, SmackDown, non-title tag match. Raquel Rodriguez and Aliyah, yeah, I'm not calling them B-Double anymore. If Aliyah can't be bothered to be consistent with her moves, why should I be consistent? They take on Toxic Attraction, JC Jane and Gigi. I don't miss these two. Raquel to start, which is rare. Aliyah isn't stood around for long as she gets the tag and she's thrown at JC Jane for a 2. Aliyah keeps going with a springboard Thez press. Toxic Attraction get the better of her and they destroy Aliyah in the corner. A snap mirror somehow fails, so they repeat the spot. The heels keep double teaming with arm ringers into kicks to the calves and head. JC Jane gets a 2 on a back senton. Aliyah eventually does a forward roll when she tags out. Every match is the same, it's Aliyah being isolated and dominated and she doesn't do a whole lot. Then she makes the tag and her partner beats everyone up, even in a handicap situation. So it makes me think Rodriguez could essentially tag with a brick and they'd still win the match. The match ends when Aliyah rushes the ring with a spear and Rodriguez hits the powerbomb for the 3. I feel like we've seen this match play out 3 times already and I'm sick of it. It's an S. Match 19, Raw, final match. Women's tag title match. Damage Control challenge for the tag belts belonging to Rodriguez and Aliyah. I was desperately hoping for something new in this final match, and we do get it, with Rodriguez press slamming her partner out of the ring and onto the opponents. The Matrix move into the sit-out hip toss returns too. The heels cheat to get the advantage and Aliyah is squashed against the ropes. Dakota gets a 2 on a kick in the corner. Aliyah is isolated, but not much is really happening. A tag is teased for ages, which at least gets the crowd going. Aliyah eventually reverses a double suplex with double net breakers and she finally tags her partner. Rodriguez is doing really well in there, but Aliyah makes a blind tag. Rodriguez alley-oops her partner into Dakota. It doesn't look incredible, but the Hawk appreciates the effort. Aliyah almost gets a roll-up win, then they both hit a jawbreaker at the same time and look confused about it. We get another new move now with a springboard X Factor. Bayley puts Dakota's foot on the rope so it's not over. Aliyah dumps in her thong with anger. Rodriguez gets distracted beating up Bayley, and it doesn't go well for her, and then Aliyah is beaten by a Code Red backbreaker. That's it, game over. So Aliyah actually got injured in that match and was on the shelf for a month. WWE never bothered to bring her back and they just let her go. Somehow she stayed under contract for an entire year after that match and she was released during the mass cuts of September 2023. She seems to have retired from wrestling now and she's focusing on horses instead. Alright, let's make this brief or you'll knock out my teeth. Considering she was signed for so long, she didn't make mass improvements. It's got to be tough when you're surrounded by such strong workers. It's not that she was bad, she was just not on the same level as the current crop of talent. The booking did her no favours despite a promising start. The tag title win was pointless because it only lasted 2 weeks and she spent most of the tag matches snoozing on the outside. On the plus side, she looked and acted like a star, and she did try to add some new moves, bless her. It just wasn't working. If she'd have come along a decade earlier, she would have probably fit in. So Aliyah gets a very low D. I didn't hate her, and this video was enjoyable to make. And if you don't agree with that, I'll make your girl's knees shake.